Osceola National Forest in Florida, USA. And we've seen a lot of different animals here. We've seen 9 alligators between 3 and about almost 9 foot long. We've seen 4 different types of turtles: box turtles, snapping turtles, a water turtle, and a painted turtle. And we've seen at least, I'd say, 4 kinds of snakes, 2 of them which we're not sure what they were. We've seen a couple different frogs, a couple toads. I saw a brown scorpion, a little small one under a log. Haven't had any luck locating any more of them. The usual tons of butterflies, bugs, beetles, ants, and centipedes and whatnot. We saw, I believe, a deer on the way in down here. Oh, it's fine. A few inches. And we've seen several species of ducks. We've seen the typical, ducks, geese, Canadian geese, mallard ducks. We've also seen a ton of wood ducks. And there's a few other types of ducks. We've seen white ibises. We've seen white cranes, tricolored cranes, herons. We've seen blue herons. We saw one that was huge, about 4 foot, that flew into a tree and crash landed and slid down the side of the tree. We've seen a couple box turtles that we got to pick up, but they kind of hid in their shell like they do. I mean, the big new thing here is the alligators. There's bears and bobcats here too, but haven't seen any. We've seen a lot of bear crap and maybe some bobcat crap.
And deer crap.
And deer crap.
We've seen lizards and salamanders.
We've seen several types of lizards, a couple types of salamanders. We saw a rabbit, which was doomed, because he was like half a mile out on a causeway, 10 foot long, that went between the swamp and Alligator Lake, is the name of the lake, over in Alligator Lake State Park, which is about 15 to 20 minutes from Osceola National Forest, where we are, Oceans Pond.
We've seen an alligator eat a duck too.
And we saw an alligator take out a duck for lunch. And of course we've seen tons of cypress trees, swamps, freshwater marsh. No salt marsh here in the state, because we're not near the ocean. And I know we've seen other stuff. We did remember the scorpion this time.
We see fish in the lake.
We've seen several types of fish in the lakes, swamps, streams, rivers, ponds. We've seen different types of water bugs. And actually at Alligator Lake State Park, we went there as it's part of the Florida birding trail system. And we did see at least 50 different types of birds in the area, which is quite a few. Normally we don't look for birds a whole lot, but there were so many there you couldn't help but miss them. See, snakes, frogs, toads, salamanders. We've seen a ton of squirrels.
We've seen
as
turkeys.
usual. Yeah, we saw a flock of turkeys take off and fly out of a bush.
We've seen deer prints, turkey prints, bear prints,
Yeah.
bobcat prints. I think that's it.
Yeah, and a couple we didn't know what they were. And we saw some egret heron prints, which are basically just 3 points. Kind of like that. Because they're long, skinny birds. Really long and skinny.
And there is black cranes or whatever, egrets, whatever they are.
Yeah, we've seen black egrets, we've seen crows, a raven, some turkey vultures, and oh yeah, we saw a dead deer carcass in the water, and there was like 50 vultures like around the water. I mean, the whole area just stunk, like horribly stunk. Like the word stank comes to mind.
We've seen a dead deer too.
Yeah, and then we saw another dead deer in a drainage thing near the side of the highway. I guess a car hit a few weeks earlier. Vultures didn't pick up on him yet. Or no, that was actually a doe, her. Could barely tell at that point.
And we've walked the Florida Trail and a couple trails.
Yeah, we did all 22 miles of the Florida Trail here. We did every trail in the Lusty Battlefield State Park, River Rise State Park, Alligator Lake State Park,
Lusty Beach.
and Lusty Beach. There's a few trails that tell the history of turpentine and logging in the area, and there's some old train tracks there. And we visited the ranger station. We did all the Mount Carey trails, and the Fanny Bay Trail, and the Great Gum Swamp Trail, or the Big Gum Swamp Trail. And then there's tons and tons of ATV and fire roads, and some county, state, and federal roads running to the forest. We just walked along. And we came across a couple ponds. I think one was Black Man Pond, and the other one was, not sure, it was near there. And then we stopped by a few forestry and wildlife centers in the area, and there wasn't a lot to do there, but we went by. And the ranger station had all kinds of stuffed animals in it that we got videos and pictures of. Eventually we'll see a beaver, a real beaver, otter we're still looking for. Beaver, otter, skunk, fox, bobcat, because I saw one briefly. But we're still looking for a good view of a bobcat. Or a Florida lynx. Yeah, that's wishful thinking. I think there's 200 of them in the whole world. And a lot of acres. I know there's a few other things we're still trying to. We saw a mole one day, but it was running so fast you barely tell what it was. So we're still looking to see like a mole or vole. We did see a lot of groundhogs in Shenandoah, now that I recall. But the moles and voles are still elusive. And we've seen rats and mice.
And what those are, they make tunnels in the ground.
Yeah, moles and voles are basically like digging rats, mice. Kind of like small versions of groundhogs for anybody out west. But yeah, I guess that pretty much covers most of the stuff. And you got your grasshoppers, katydids, crickets everywhere.
Dragonflies.
Tons of colored dragonflies. And of course the annoying ones, flies, gnats, mosquitoes.
But that's all part of camping.
Glad we haven't came across many ticks for the last few months at least. But I think ticks are just a big problem in like Shenandoah near the campsites because there's so many deer there. Because the ticks do follow the deer for anybody who doesn't know anything about them. You go in a place and there's a lot of deer, you're probably only get ticks. If you don't see any deer, you're probably not going to get many ticks or any at all.
So they can't kill them in Shenandoah because it's a camping forest, whatever you want to call it.
And that's pretty much everything we recall.